good afternoon, everyone. For a soft skills trainer like myself, whose average module lasts between 90 minutes and 2 hours, 15 minutes feels like what I need for my introduction. But I'll do my best to stay within the allotted time, even though I know my best will not be good enough today. So we'll jump straight to it. Thank you once again. This is also why my contribution today on this carefully crafted theme, festivals and tourism in Nigeria, a new pathway, shall be two-pronged. First, I'll share a personal story. Then I bring in a case study. From these, we would extract why some festivals attract tourists and while some don't, but especially the lessons we can take that would point us in that new or towards the new pathway. Yes, every destination has a story. Festivals play a critical role in telling those stories, yes. It's also true that we are not in lack of festivals in Nigeria. We've highlighted most of them throughout this series. There's Carnival Calabar, there's Ojudoba, there's Oshu Oshobo, Ofala Festival, Doba Festival, Eyo Festival, Agungu Festival, you name it. My session has not started, so we start now. All right. I just did a small prayer to say there are things we cannot control and there are things we can. So today we're focusing on the things we can control as opposed to those we don't have control over, while acknowledging, of course, the various inputs that we've received thus far. Now, mid-2015, I won the Mrs. Nigeria United Nations title and went ahead to represent Nigeria on the world stage in Kingston, Jamaica, and won the Mrs. Tourism United Nations world title. By January of 2016, I had done 6 months into my journey, and I realized it was time for, or we realized, I had a team, that it was time to change direction. It was time for a new pathway. It was time to re-strategize. The focus, the direction was to be tourism. And then we had a consultant and we set him to work. The assignment was simple. Help us find a human organization, whoever it is, in Nigeria or beyond, that can help us achieve this objective. And he set to work. A couple of days later, he returned. Now, when I'm telling the story, so let's do this. In the course of this interaction, it is true that the subject matter is Ebele, but let's imagine Ebele to be a festival, a product, to be a festival, a product. Let's also imagine the other characters within the story to be festivals and products, and we extract the message. Now, you have to know when, festivals have to know when a particular thing isn't working. If it's not working, means it's not working. You know when to re-strategize, know when to reinvent, know when to change course. That has to happen before anything else. So acknowledge that, face that truth, and try something else. You can't keep doing the same thing the same way and expect a different result. It doesn't work that way. Now, a couple of weeks, days later, we had a name. Of course, we did our own research, well, personal research on the internet, on Facebook, and this person seemed to align with the vision. And then thankfully we received, we wrote for a courtesy visit and it was granted. On Tuesday, the 9th of February, 2016, we found ourselves in Ikeja and we saw this tall man, or this man with a hat and a scarf, with a height as intimidating as the resume we had just seen. If you know who I'm talking about, you can start putting it in the chat. Now, what does this also say? When the vision, festivals have to have a clear vision. Where are you going? What story are you trying to communicate? When the vision is clear, decisions become easier. That's the truth. Now, when we got here, in the course of the interaction with, I see your response, okay. In the course of the interaction, what happened next was amazing, but points to something very critical that sometimes festivals ignore: effective communication. What are you communicating? What is your festival saying? That's the question. And why do I say this? Yes, you're all correct. I'm seeing Ambassador Ikechiba, but they're giving you many names. You're absolutely correct. The only man I know with a hat and a scarf with a height that intimidates. Okay. Now, in the course of this interaction, we shared our vision. We shared what we wanted to do, what we wanted to achieve. It brings to mind this popular saying by Warren Buffett: if you're not able to communicate and talk to people and get your points across, you're giving up on your potential. How many festivals today do that? You give up on your potential because we don't know what you represent. What do you stand for? When the vision is clear, decisions become easier. You communicate and you communicate effectively. And this is what happened next. Ambassador Oko, this man, said, I wish this meeting had happened earlier, because in 2 days, we actually have the AGM of the National Nigeria Association of Tour Operators happening in Calabar, Cross River State. I said, oh, okay. He said, yeah, because we leave for Calabar tomorrow. I said, I can make it. I'll be there. Why not? Remember what I said. When the vision is clear, your decisions become easier. You're sure what you want to achieve. You begin with the end in mind. In life, things happen twice. First in the mind before it materializes. So if you don't see it, you can't be it. You can't feature in that future if you cannot picture it. And so we're clear what we wanted to do. And we had come and we had met this tourism guru, this magician that our consultant told us this is where to be. Now, follow me as I remember, it is not Ebele. It is not Ambassador Oko. We're talking of festivals. What people call luck is when opportunity meets preparedness. And then people say, you are lucky. No, a lot of work would have gone into that. But ultimately, you were prepared. How many festivals are prepared for opportunities that show up every now and again? How many festivals even recognize those opportunities when they do come? Those are the pertinent questions we should be asking as of now. By the next day, I was on the same flight with people that had started preparing for this festival for months. I was on the same flight and I was in Calabar, Cross River State in no time. Now, at the hotel in the night, I had woken up to use the bathroom. I looked at my phone and I saw a message. If you're up to it, you'll be giving a goodwill message tomorrow. I'm like, hold up. In my mind, I'm like, hold up. Oga, I can't be giving goodwill message. This is a woman that does not even understand the industry. I'm just here to understand how things work, meet the people, understand it, and I'm about to give a goodwill message. I must have even mentioned to my husband then, and he said, is it not you? Go ahead, speak. Now, opportunities always present themselves. Are you always available to take those opportunities? Bottom line, I accepted this and I got on stage. When I got on stage during this AGM, 2 things happened. The first was I corrected the pronunciation and the spelling of my name. I corrected the title that had been assigned to me, of course, with every good intention. So I said, not Enemchukwu, it is Enemchukwu. Of course, I did that graciously, not to run anyone down. I said, it is not Miss Tourism, it is Mrs. Tourism. What am I saying? For festivals, whatever your story is, in fact, especially in the budding phase, protect your brand. Again, when the vision is clear, you know where you're going. So you've got to be sure from the beginning, the tiny things. Don't say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll wing it. Anyhow, no, correct it. Protect your brand. And that's what successful brands do. That's what successful festivals do. Protect it, how it is written, how it is said. Do all of those. The second thing I did on stage was I told a story. I told a story not trying to mimic anyone, I was myself. I told my story that was uniquely me. And that's when I got the attention of those that mattered. I mean, at that festival, at that event, there was, I believe, Professor Pat Otomi was a keynote speaker. There was Madam Dayokeshi, DG at the time of NCAC. Yes, big names, people you would see on TV, but they were all there in that room. And this opportunity came. So I told a story. Mind you, beauty queens don't have the best of labels attached to them. Most times you say, yeah, pretty face, good body, but empty head. That's what you get all the time. So, but at this storytelling session, I got the attention. And by the time I got off the stage, and something like a tea break happened almost immediately, I was standing with the only man I knew in the room, Ambassador Oko, when another man walked up to us and said, Ikechi, this is our tourism product. This is our tourism product. And I smiled. Now, it's interesting, but there's a story there. Remember, this is not Ebele. This is a story. This is a tourism product. This is what festivals do, what they get wrong sometimes. Any festival would need it would need funding. Any festival would need support, sponsorship. Now, it's been 10 years, and that tourism product is still growing, is still flourishing, is reinventing, is evolving. Not in isolation, not in itself or by herself in this case, but because you had people that believed in you, people that supported you, people that sponsored you. How many festivals can boast of that ability to get sponsorship or get funding? And what happens is that you die off. But I tell you what, it is true that you told a story that was uniquely you, that was authentic, not trying to be more Catholic than the Pope, told your own story, stayed on your own lane. You got their attention. So for festivals, don't always try to copy. Learn if you have to, but stay on your lane. And by your lane, I mean every destination has a unique story. The question is, are you able to tell it, and how well can you tell that story? And that's what people travel for. That's what people want. That's what they can relate with. What would make any brand, I mean, it's possible that before even that courtesy visit was granted, it's possible they had researched this festival product. Is it worth investing in? Is it worth even admitting? Is it worth my time? I imagine a man of that caliber would have so many things to do with his time. I'm not even going into the part that he was afraid of even beauty queens, but that's a story for another day. Now, you have people who believe that there's something here. How many festivals do you look at from their beginning? There's an Igbo saying, no, let me say it in English. You will know where a man is going by his preparation. How many festivals, even in their budding stage, even in the beginning, can you look at and actually say, okay, this might be going somewhere, maybe not another flash in the pan? How many? Now, that's what happened at that point. Along the line, you would probably ask, how come you actually allowed me to get on that stage? What if I had gotten it all wrong? But it was a risk worth taking. How many festivals can people take that risk on? And then it doesn't just happen. How well packaged are you? And I'm not talking of packaging on the outside with no content within. When you package, do you provide value? Do you keep to your promises? What you say you would deliver, is that what you deliver? Why is it that you can buy a bottle of water, the same bottle of water, for 215 naira on the street, and you go into a hotel, they tell you it's 2.5 as an example. In fact, they put it in that leather envelope, in that leather jacket, and you say, you were arguing on the street for 215 naira. But here you're saying, do you have POS? It's the power of branding, it's the power of packaging, it's the power especially of value delivered every time. So people are sure what they're getting. A story was told to me of a particular producer of an event I was hosting that went to the convener and said, we've not seen the compare, we've not seen the compare. And the organizer said, relax, it is Ebele, she will be here, relax. How many festivals can you say, relax? It will be worth your money, it will be worth your time, it will be worth traveling miles away, it will be worth the effort. How many festivals can boast of that? Those are pertinent questions we should ruminate on. Now, when you make a promise, deliver on it. Not this year, it's January. The event will hold in January, then something happens. Oh, it will now be December. Planning can happen that way. Oh, it will be, in fact, as the spirit leads, what God cannot do does not exist. We don't know if it will hold or not. Sometimes, yes, genuinely, things happen that would make a festival not to hold. But do you communicate it? How do you handle it? Or is it a case of, it's not holding, means it's not holding? Those are things we want to pay attention to. Now, digital visibility is something critical. I believe it was Shalom Asukwa in her session that said something along the lines of, if you are not digitally visible, you're economically invisible. I believe that was her line. Basically, if you cannot be found, you effectively do not exist in today's world, and it's not about Nigeria. If we can't find you, uncle, auntie, you don't exist. That festival basically doesn't exist. Now, we found an ambassador Oko, that festival, because he was online. He was visible. He was out there, print media everywhere. They probably did a research on this other person to see if it's worth even giving our time to. They must have found something. Digital identity, absolutely. I see you in the comments, absolutely. Now, times are changing, so are the travelers, which is why what a lot of people don't know is this. That tourism product had a failed participation attempt only 2 months before February the 11th, 2016. In December of 2015, there was a failed attempt to participate in the carnival. A lot of people do not know this. Now, from that failed participation attempt, Now this tourism product not only participates, okay, now I give it a name. It not only participates, but also carries out important roles for Carnival, the Carnival Calabar brand, as influencer, as adjudicator for both the national and international Carnival, as the chief host for the live broadcast for Carnival Calabar on DSTV. And of course, co-authoring a book, Carnival Calabar, Chronicle of Themes, where the first 15 years, the story of the first 15 years of Carnival Calabar was co-authored. I co-authored. And of course, I'm in the process of telling that story to the 21st year with an updated edition coming. Which is why I'm going to my case study. But let me say something very interesting. I remember the theme for that year, that AGM was Nigeria tourism, the missing link in a diversified economy. How can I forget? Now, how does that ring right now? Almost, I'm like, with the theme for today, we are looking for the new pathway. What's that missing link? So for me, that missing link is what I call the soft skills, those other soft, the intangibles. Your communication, your storytelling, your branding, your character, your person, relationship management. Festivals are not just events. They are, don't treat them as events. Treat them like relationships. Treat them not as one-off things that happen one-off, but a year-round thing. It brings me to Carnival Calabar. Carnival Calabar, we've all mentioned it. There's almost no one. So many people don't know the festivals in their states, but almost everyone knows Carnival Calabar. How come? They have built that identity. They have built that strength. Think of the word Calabar. Do you know? Many of us might know, and for the benefit of those who do not, I decided to write it out. This is Calabar. It's an acronym, even though this is come and live and be at rest, Calabar. What does that say to you? They understand branding. This right here is an invitation. They're telling you to come and live and be at rest. It communicates warmth. It communicates safety. It communicates welcome. And that is the power of branding for you. You already told me who the man is, but if I were to take your name out of the flyer, will your festival still be recognizable? Pay attention to that. If I took out his name without saying anything and just say, that man, now you know that man with a cap and scarf, tall man like this, Dogoyaro, you already know who they've mentioned. That's the power of branding. Now, Carnival Calabar understands the power of storytelling, and they do this through themes. For a lot of people, every day then they waste money, dancing, fanfare. It's beyond the dance and the fanfare. Working and studying the first 15 years of the story of Carnival Calabar through themes tells you that through themes, you have a strong area for storytelling by Carnival Calabar. It creates meaning. It gives meaning to the carnival. It sets direction. But especially, it also creates anticipation. Everybody's wondering. But it also tells their unique story through themes. You hear our culture, our beauty, our culture. You hear Africanism. You hear humanity. You hear ain't no stopping us. You hear endless possibilities. You hear our shared prosperity. And this year, you are hearing rethinking our collective destiny. And you tell me such a festival will not succeed? Carnival Calabar, the planning of the next season starts even while the current one is ongoing. And that's how critical, that's how important. You are there, you already seen year-round, there are Carnival Calabar activities. If you don't have them engaging stakeholders, you have another breakfast meeting, you have a business meeting, you have call to view by Mr. Gardner, you have dry runs. And the funny thing is, you can plan with these things. You can prepare everything. And this is also something amazing with the Akwaaba brand, I must mention. You can say, oh, I won't attend Akwaaba Africa Travel Market or any event organized by Akwaaba. You can say you won't attend for any reason, but it will never be because the notice was short. It's not true. You would have had more than enough notice, sometimes a year's notice to plan. And why won't a brand succeed 2 decades and counting and waxing even strong? Those are things we should pay attention to. Festivals are not just narratives. Our narratives, they are not just activities. They are not just activities. They are not one-off events, but they are strong stories and narratives that have to be told well. They must live in the hearts of the people all year round. They understand the power of community buying. See, the greatest people that can champion your cause as a festival are the locals. The great success ingredient that sometimes people overlook, the locals. You see Calabar Carnival. If they born you well, I'm trying to sound Nigerian now. If they born you well, you say you are governor, don't hold the carnival. COVID will allow you, if they born you well, don't hold the carnival. It has gone beyond politics. It has assumed a life of its own. It has developed wings and it's flying and getting even better, bolder, stronger. Why? Carnival Calabar understands you've got to create jobs with this. Our people have to eat. Stories have been told of people who say that the revenue generated during a particular season almost always keeps them till the next season. You see revelers, thousands of revelers on the road. How do you think those shoes are made? Those outfits they wear, the floats. Human beings are engaged to do this. The hotels, people stay there. The restaurants. The entire tourism circuit is one that no one can really stop. And so it's not a surprise when you hear ain't no stopping us. Now, that is Carnival Calabar. It is consistent. You can shut your eyes and imagine what would happen at FIFA World Cup. You can shut your eyes and say, what will happen if I go to Carnival Calabar? How many festivals can I shut my eyes and say, don't worry, it will happen as they say it will. They will deliver on their promises. Carnival Calabar has learned to do this. They've leveraged on this the same way they leverage on media. Ambassador, you spoke to it not too long ago. They understand that times are changing. For them, it's no longer just about attendance. It's about participation. How many people? Not everybody wants to be on the streets of Calabar, not because they don't want to, but maybe they're not even able to. There are tons of reasons. And so, apart from the live broadcast on various media and through DSTV, they are thinking ahead. They are thinking, what do we do for the future? What do we do going forward? You're going to be hearing things like online voting, e-judging. Now, is that not a thinking, reinventing brand? And you think they won't succeed? Intentionality. Marketing consultant, you have the media consultant. Mr. Ikechi here is international consultant on media. You have influencers. Sometimes people say, consultants, what do you pay them for? I'm a consultant myself, soft skills consultant. And I can tell you that for those who don't understand the power of consultants, you're missing out. I'm talking about festivals now. That professional, that expertise, where they share they provide guidance, they provide solutions, they provide advice that help you, whether as an individual, a government, an organization, to meet specific goals, to improve performance, and you think consultants are not that important, then really, if you're a festival in this mindset, you need a full paradigm shift. That's what it is. So let's pay attention to such things. Strategic collaboration. Carnival Calabar, they are masters at this. And how can I talk about Carnival Calabar without bringing in the man at the helm of affairs? And I'm not, of course, Mr. Governor, you are the Ogapatakoto of it all. But it's a commission. Why was the commission created? It also tells you when the vision is clear, decisions become easier. There's a Dr. Gabe Ona PhD, Sir Gabe Ona PhD there. He doesn't do it alone. He has a team, of course. But I always say it all rises and falls on leadership. You get the head right, most likely other things will fall on. So you realize that strategic collaboration is key. Why will Africa's biggest street party choose all places to be and they strategically position themselves at West Africa's biggest travel expo? They position themselves at the only international expo in West Africa. I'm talking of Accra Africa Travel Market. Do you see that kind of union? Mega and mega. And you think they won't be explosive? No, it will succeed. And coincidentally, they've done 2 decades and counting. Power of relationships and goodwill. And that's why I pointed at festivals should be careful who they put at the top. Who handles your festivals? You have to be careful about that. For organizers. For you say, oh, the sponsors, they didn't come back to us. They say we should come back later. Do you know they have researched you? And they have checked. The first question is, who are the organizers? Who are those in charge? Who? That person, this person. And you think it doesn't matter. Your character matters. And it's under the searchlight, but you don't know that. So sometimes it's not, they didn't get back to us. It's not working. Are you working? You can't give what you don't have. So be mindful, festivals, be mindful who you put at the head. Relationships matter. Goodwill matters. Sometimes things are going upside down. And the only thing you need to succeed for that year is your goodwill. How many people make those emotional deposits? Which is why I said what we're looking at is the heart. From event management to relationship management. The heart, soft skills, that's what we're looking at. People don't just appear at destinations. People will not remember the venue. People will not remember what people remember is how they were made to feel, how they went, the interaction they had. So the essence of bringing Carnival Calabar into the story, I'm rounding up now, is not, okay, everybody go ahead and copy. No, as I said earlier, remain authentic, be original. While Carnival Calabar offers valuable lessons, we agree, but the future of festival tourism in Nigeria is not about creating another Carnival Calabar, but instead helping every destination to remain its authentic self and tell its own stories in ways that today's travelers can relate with, can connect with, and can share those experiences. We talked of Calabar as an acronym, Enugu, which I'm involved with. Enugu, why can't you be, I made this up, but Enugu, you pay me, Sha. Why can't you be experience nature's unlimited germs uniquely? Hey, Enugu, eh? So it goes on and on. No matter what Enugu does, it cannot make an acronym out of Calabar. You will do Enugu. But there's so much. We can think outside the box. Every touch point shapes perception. Everybody should realize, yes, it's a festival, but I won't just appear at the festival. I came on an aircraft. I met immigration people. I entered a restaurant. I'm at the hotel. There's a receptionist that is naughty and saucy. As you said, Ambassador, when people know better, they do better. I do believe that. And that's the place of training. These guys need training. It's another area where people say, training, that's waste of money now. That's waste of money now. Then I tell you, the vision is still not clear. You still don't get it. Okay, so in rounding up, there's something I want to say to us now. This is to us. Can we stop demarketing Nigeria? Yes, there are bad stories, but where do they not exist? Why is it you? Now, let's say every other person does it. Every other industry does it. We are the last set of people to do that. Igbos will say, where did you keep another market? This is it for you. This is it for us. So why demarket it? Why are you amplifying the wrongs? Yes, bad news sells faster. Negative news gains more publicity. But why do you want to demarket it? And I keep saying to myself, as much as people keep saying, this economy, listen, let me go biblical now. The Bible says, even when there's a casting down, there's going to be a lifting up for those who believe. So let it continue looking bad. It is how you're seeing it. If you believe and you back that faith up with action, you will progress. Now, you're amplifying things, but on your WhatsApp status, you're sharing amazing stories and destinations. And you don't know that there's something called to enable and to allow reshare. Your status is there. Great stories. You're waiting for people to say, please send me this video. No. Do the little bit on your own part. Enable reshare. Let people just touch it and it goes viral. Let it move beyond your phone. I know it's not Palasa phone, but let it move. Build trust. What's the face behind your brand? There's a festival. We just see different things. Who is behind it? What's the face behind it? Stay digitally responsive. There's something Mr. Dayo Adedayo, the great photographer, and who will always tell you that if you have a Naira bill in your purse, it means you have a piece of his work with you. I've noticed something he has started doing. Ambassador, it might have been you that shared it. I saw that his amazing photos, he's beginning to put them in form of videos. He understands what's going on. He knows what's getting attention. He knows how these things can get on reels and develop wings and fly. So you've got to be that alert. Understand the times. Debunk fake news. When you see fake news, it's not enough to share. Don't be sharing anyhow. Confirm, take it upon yourself. Do a bit of work. So I'll leave it there and just say in closing that we're not in lack of festivals. We're not in lack of promoters. We're not in lack of destination managers. We're in lack of a little bit of heart to tourism, a little bit of soft skills. And if we focus on this, I tell you solemnly that the future of tourism, and its sustainability will continue to flourish, help in economic growth, and especially in national pride. I'd like to leave it here and thank you for your time. I did 15 minutes, so let it be on record.